and 6'6" senior number 21, Joe Cookson. A 6'5" junior number 24, Logan Britt. And a 6'3" senior number 33, Isaac Omack. Head coach of the Cardinals is Sean Burrow, assisted by Ryan Coulter and Zach Jackson.
Is that you? Okay, so I turned the other one off. Good. And welcome back. We are live once again at Seattle Academy, the varsity boys, and we are underway here. Seattle Academy 6-0, leading the league, and they are taking on Northwest. Northwest with the ball, trying to penetrate the Cardinal defense. And suffocating defense and the turnover. Logan Britt comes up with it. Out to Joe Cookson. And check that. And we have a player down. So Seattle Academy got the steal. Logan Britt and handed off to Joe Cookson. And Joe Cookson, a senior, took it in for the bucket to give the Cardinals a 2-0 lead.
And Rick, Northwest comes into this at 2-5.
2-5, okay. And again, Seattle Academy 6-0, and again leading the league. It's unfortunate that we don't have the state playoffs because Seattle Academy likely would have been ranked, if not number one, in the top couple 2 or 3, and would have made a run for the school's first state title. Last year finished number 3 and the highest finish in the history for the boys basketball program here at Seattle Academy. So action back on the court. And Northwest with the ball, trying to penetrate again the Seattle Academy defense. And Seattle Academy, you notice when Northwest gets the ball in the corners, they're doubling and trapping and forces a turnover there. Aaron Techlu had nowhere to go, threw it out of bounds, and so Seattle Academy will take over.
Last year, Rick, one of the consistencies about Seattle Academy was their defense.
Yes, and that is a hallmark for Sean Burrow, head coach Sean Burrow. And once again, Joe Cookson spinning and takes it underneath and off the glass. Joe Cookson, once again, 6'6" senior. And the Seattle Academy's got some size. Cookson at about 6'5", 6'6". Isaac Allnut about 6'5". Logan Britt 6'6". On the other end of the shot, Michael Long and check that was Marcel Pasaha. And that was no good. Seattle Academy, Leo DeBruhl, the reigning league MVP, hands off to Tasia Singh over to Cookson. And all these guys can shoot the three-pointer as well. DeBruhl steps back, the three-pointer. It's good. Leo DeBruhl for 3.
Money. He stepped back about 8-9 more feet, and that was the shot that tied the game up.
Yeah. I tell you, Leo DeBruhl, and unfortunately, Leo, as a result of the pandemic, hurt that he hadn't got the looks from colleges that he normally would have. But here's a kid, Tony, that literally can play at the D1 level, and hopefully he'll get a chance. Miles Nelson on the other end gets the bucket for Northwest. And so timeout on the floor, 6:06 left to play here in the first quarter, and Seattle Academy leading Northwest by a score of 7-2.
And Seattle Academy, again, as you mentioned, Rick, they brought back a lot of most of the starting lineup.
Yeah, 4 of the 5 starting back. Lewis Welsh was the only graduating senior of 3 seniors that started, and then you had one other senior that played quite a bit, and that was really it. And then the third senior didn't get a lot of playing time. And so this team, coming back from a team that was one of the best in the state, and clearly all of their best players led by Leo DeBruhl.
And then you add Eddie Hewlett, who's back again and improved, and then also the younger DeBruhl.
And Hewlett is not suited up today. He's over on the bench, but not suited up today. And then back, who was out last year, right there with the ball, Logan Britt. And Britt with that three-pointer won't go. But Logan Britt had a leg injury and so was out last year, but a junior and at 6'6" is a player. So Seattle Academy, 7-2 lead here. And applying the defense on Northwest, the house, the 2 and 5 house. Near steal by Cookson. 8 on the shot clock, and hands. And tell you what, Seattle Academy, I mean, that is, again, a hallmark of Sean Burrow. They are going to contest every pass. They're going to get their hands on the ball. A foul called that time, so late in the shot clock bails Northwest out, so they'll get a new 30. That is the house. If you're just joining us, we are live here on Rainier Avenue Radio at Seattle Academy, bringing you high school boys basketball action. Seattle Academy and Northwest, the Cardinals, and the house. And the house with the ball. Aaron Teklu looking for the three-pointer. Teklu hits the back of the iron, won't go. Near rebound by the big guy, Seth Horn. But on the fast break, Leo DeBruhl to Tasia Singh. And Singh making Northwest pay for not getting back.
And Singh's a nice player. Good outside shot, good all-around player.
Yeah, and Tasia Singh can get up over the rim easily as well. His older brother is right here to our right, taking some pictures. And also was on the varsity team. The big guy, Seth Horn, the jumper won't go. Joe Cookson across the timeline to Isaac Allnut. Allnut to drive in the paint. And the little runner, Isaac Allnut.
And we'll be on the 17th, Rick, we'll be having a discussion with Isaac Allnut for his project with Heart on My Sleeve.
Yes, yes.
I'll tell you more about that later.
So Seattle Academy halfway through this first frame, and they are leading 11-2. The Cardinals, and forcing a turnover. Allnut gets it over to Britt. Britt across the timeline to Tasia Singh. Singh driving the baseline. Spins back out to Britt. Britt inside to Cookson. Singh, the three-pointer. In and out. Oh, halfway down the cylinder, they came out. Too much English on it. And again, that was right in front of his brother Jujar, who is right there taking his filmmaker. And in college, Jujar graduated from Seattle Academy a couple of years ago. Northwest with the ball. Moving around, trying to find an opening in this stingy Seattle Academy defense. And Miles Nelson does and gets the jumper. And he has all 4 of the Northwest points. Leo DeBruhl driving in the lane, take it in, bounces off the rim, won't go. And the rebound comes down to Marcel Fasea. And Horn, the big guy with the jumper, won't go. And Logan Britt with the rebound. Britt over to Allnut to DeBruhl. DeBruhl draws a baseline, then finds Tasia Singh open for the 3. Tasia Singh for 3.
Money. That's money.
Every day the bank is open. Although he didn't bank it, it's money. On the other end, Northwest. And that's why, Tony, I know this, again, this very well could have been the first state championship team in the history of the school. Again, finishing 3rd last year, the highest finish for the school, for Seattle Academy. And unfortunate, like a lot of schools, with the pandemic short. But I tell you, these kids are excited to, I have a lot of them, taught a lot of them this spring, and excited to be back on the court and able to play a game they love.
And if you're tuning in to Rainier Avenue Radio for the first time, we've been covering Metro League sports, and the thing, Rick, that we've been saying all year, great job by the athletic directors, great job by the leagues to at least get these kids back on the court, back on the field.
Yeah, and really, safety protocols in place, making sure kids are safe. If you're watching it on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, you see that all the players are wearing masks. Everyone in here, we may sound a little muffled, we're wearing masks. And so, again, trying to keep adhere to the safety protocols to make sure, even though more and more people are being vaccinated, Tony and I, are fully vaccinated, really trying to make sure that everybody stays safe. And so hats off to Kathy Schick, Mark Moquin, and the staff here at Seattle Academy for welcoming us and being safe. Leo DeBruhl in the paint, jumper won't go, fighting for the rebound. Joe Cookson gets it. And Cookson out to DeBruhl. DeBruhl able to get it, drives in. DeBruhl, switches to the left hand, won't go, but there's Cookson for the putback.
There's Cookson.
And Jose, as his dad yells out from the stands often, gets that bucket. On the other end, Northwest are looking for something, trailing 16-4, 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. And inside, and the bucket is good, and that is the guy that's keeping them in the game right now. Miles Nelson has all 6 of the points for Northwest. Still a 10-point lead for the Cardinals, 16-6. DeBruhl on the other end. Looking to move the ball around. Cookson jumps it off to Finn McSherry, and now Tasia Singh with the ball back out to Leo DeBruhl. DeBruhl with 8 on the shot clock. He's going to pull up the long three-pointer halfway down the cylinder. Tony then comes back out. But there's McSherry stealing the ball. And McSherry gives the Cardinals with the steal and out. Long three-pointer. That is Carson DeBruhl, Leo's younger brother, the sophomore. And I tell you what, he has got range. I wasn't sure because two things, Tony. He changed his number last year. I believe he was number 5. And secondly, he's grown. He's gotten a lot bigger. I didn't recognize him out there. And that's what happened when, we've been out of school for a year. And some of these guys look at Logan Britt. And as our listeners know, I work here at Seattle Academy and hadn't seen Logan for quite some time. He's always a tall kid, but now he's grown. He's 6'6", and I almost didn't recognize him.
And some folks may not know, Rick, of what you do here, our regular listeners who are tuning in, who just watch us for basketball. And why don't you share a little bit about the work that you do here at Seattle Academy?
Yeah, absolutely. I am the director of community engagement, and under that umbrella, my daughter said, "Well, Dad, what is it? What does that mean? What do you do?" Honestly, I was hired initially to my primary focus running the senior project program, an internship program where the seniors, the last 5 weeks of school, they are done with class and they go out into the real world and get that experience. I also manage all of our community engagement related to the students doing community service. And so the partners that we work with and where our kids go out and get their community service work. And then I also do a lot in the admissions office, a lot of admissions interviews. So wear a number of different hats here. And my 9th year on staff, but have been around for about 20, 21 years. My daughter graduated back in 2007.
And if you're wondering if that buzzer is loud, it is almost next to us.
Yeah, I know. We're here to these headphones. I'm like, good, let me turn this down. So Northwest with the ball, and again, Miles Nelson, who has kept them in the ball game here, looking, and now it is in the hands of Aaron Teckley. Teckley with drive, but he is met by a couple of players, and just checking in, Josh Davidoff. And Davidoff is a junior. And drive inside, no good. Leo DeBruhl. I'll talk more about Davidoff in a minute. DeBruhl to Davidoff. Davidoff hands it off to Joe Cookson. Hey, Cookson with the lay-in. And Cookson leading all scorers right now with 8 points. And all of them inside, Tony. I think he's 4 for 4 from the field.
And hey, you know what? That's a great shot. If you can get a shot inside,
that's right.
Take it.
And on the other end, Miles Nelson, long jumper won't go and off and running, but the whistle blows. And Leo DeBruhl puts it away, but puts it down with authority. But it was the whistle had blown. And I mentioned Josh Davidoff a moment ago, the junior, number 5 in the ball game. As you look, Tony, on the wall to the far left, you look at the MVPs, and you can see there on the right side from 2014, his brother was a league MVP here at Seattle Academy.
You were talking about Cookson working inside, and it's easy to get infatuated with the three-point shot, especially if you're watching the NBA these days. But the bread and butter for a lot of teams, especially when you get into the playoffs, is that big man with great footwork down low.
Yeah, that half-court game and being able to get the ball in the bucket when you need to. So some confusion. It looks like there may have been, Tony, a technical called, and I'm not sure exactly what the call was. The referees didn't indicate, but Miles Nelson at the line, he's shooting a couple, hits the first one for Northwest. So again, I'm not sure. There was a little confusion on the court, and the referees are talking to the coaches over there. Nelson, in the meantime, hits both of those free throws to make the score 21-8. 22.9 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Seattle Academy with a commanding lead.
Over the Miles Nelsons.
That really is it, because Miles Nelson has all 8 points right now for the house, Northwest. And as I said earlier, the history, Northwest started, and some people broke out from Northwest, and from that, Seattle Academy started the third year the Northwest was in existence. So these two schools have a lot of history as well as the rivalry on the court here. The ball into Seth Horn, big 6'9" Seth Horn. And they're going to say that Cookson and Joe Cookson looking at the referee, then his coach Sean Burrow with his hands to his side like, what? But the referee saw something that Cookson did not foul on Joe Cookson. That's the 14th foul on Seattle Academy. And checking in for Northwest, number 5, Cameron DeVore. So Aaron Teklu will take the ball out. And a couple more substitutions, Logan Britt and Tasia Singh coming back in for the Cardinals, replacing Joe Cookson and Leo DeBruhl. 10.1 left to play here in the first quarter. 21-8, the Cardinals. Teklu looking and passes up the three-pointer, trying to set up a play. 5, 4, 3 seconds. Passes it in to Nelson. Nelson with the drive inside and not able to get the shot to go. And so at the end of one, Seattle Academy leading Northwest by a score of 21-8. We are live here at Seattle Academy, and I'm going to throw it to Daniel B. Do we have any updates that we want to let our listeners know about?
Well, yeah, we've been tirelessly searching the internet, and it looks like we finally found a source for the Eastside Catholic Nathan Hale game. It is clearly Eastside Catholic here in the fourth quarter, leading Nathan Hale 50-37. It's a grainy video, and they're not posting the score. But
doing a good job there.
A 50-37 there with 4:37 left. It looks like Eastside Catholic's well on their way to traveling to O'Dea for a rematch game this Tuesday for Metro. And then on the for the girls game, our most recent report is that Bishop Blanchette is actually possibly on an upset of Franklin here, 54-38 at the start of the fourth quarter. But this is a really interesting stat because Franklin was up 9 at the half, which means they've only scored 2 points in the whole third quarter. I don't know. It seems a little skeptical.
All right, Mr. Bellis, thank you. And second quarter action, 21-8, Seattle Academy with the ball. Carson DeBruhl in the front court over to Singe. Carson drives on the left side, drops a pass cross court. Ball ends up in the hands of McSherry. Back on top to Singe. Carson with the three-point shot. The high arching shot doesn't go. Miles Nelson with the rebound for Northwestern. Ball in the front court now. Teklu. Teklu probes on the right side, loses the ball, picks it up, tries to drop it low for Nelson. Ball out of bounds, and that should be and will be Seattle Academy basketball. Singe with the ball on the right side. Over to Britt. Britt thinks about a three. Turns, spins right, lays it up off the glass and in. Nice move there.
What a move, Tony. Logan Britt with the spinning move. Took it right off the window.
23-8 now. Backcourt pressure applied. Ball in the hands of Horn. Horn takes it across the half-court line. Puts it over to Nelson. Ball down low. Horn has it. Puts up a shot that doesn't go quickly into front court for Seattle Academy. Shot does not go from McSherry. Simon Honig with the ball back into Teklu. Teklu in the front court whips a pass over to the left corner for a three, wide open, and that shot is good. And that's that man, Miles Nelson, again with the three-pointer. 23-11 with 6:25 here to go in the second quarter. Singe with the ball over to Britt. Back to Carson and Seattle Academy working offense. Britt with the deep three-pointer that doesn't go. Nelson had the ball, saved almost by Leo DeBruhl, diving on the floor, rolled out of bounds. And so we'll turn that one back over to Northwestern. Still 23-11 here to go with 6:10 in the half. Seattle Academy, undefeated Seattle Academy. 6-0 looking for their 7th victory. Northwestern looking for their 3rd victory of the season at 2-5. Ball comes into Simon Honig. Honig defended by Singe. Carsonville goes for the steal. They try to get the ball down low to Horn. They do. Turns and puts a shot up that doesn't go. Rebounded by Seattle Academy. Britt back on the run, streaming up the middle of the court. Quick shot. Rolls in and out by Carson DeBruhl. make sure that we get the first name in there so that we get the DeBruhl brother separation. Miles Nelson with it. From the right corner, shot put up, and finally someone other than Miles Nelson makes a bucket. Simon Honig drills a jumper from the right baseline to make it 23-13 now, and the House back within 10. And into the game now for Seattle Academy is Isaac Allnut, and a bucket there. That's going to make it 25-13, back up by 12.
Logan Britt, yeah, strong move in for the lay-in there, Tony, by Logan Britt.
Honig drops the pass to Nelson. Ball's on the floor. Seattle Academy has it. Ball's loose again. Knocked out of bounds, and they're going to say that's off of Seth Horn. So Seattle Academy will take possession with a 12-point lead and 5 minutes and 2 seconds left here to go in the half. Singe inbounds the ball to DeBruhl and gets it back. Ball on top to Isaac Allnut. Down low to DeBruhl. He spins, moves, grooves, puts it up with the left hand, goes from right to left under the basket, up with the left hand, a little English on it, and drops it through, and the foul.
Come on, Tony. That's a play from the playground, baby. Leo DeBruhl showing what he's got.
Leo DeBruhl with the three-point play, the old-fashioned.
Yes, sir. And one.
That's going to give Seattle Academy a 15-point lead, 28-13 now. 4:45 here to go in the half. A couple substitutions in. Marcel Fasea back in the game. Ball is stolen. Leo DeBruhl drives to the hoop, and again, defense paving the way. Seth Horn with it. 30-13 now. Miles Nelson with the ball. Double team. Pass side. Horn was unsure if it was going to him and let it go. The ball ended up going out of bounds.
And that's what that pressure defense does, Tony. If you don't get the steal, forcing some unforced errors, if you will, where it's a bad pass and a turnover.
Between Owen Gillick and Seth Horn, they weren't sure who that pass was going to for Northwestern. Quickly back into front court, Hunter Ackley. Singe pulls up from the left side for a 15-footer that doesn't go. Again, battle for the rebound. Nice hustle there from Isaac Allnut.
Yeah, I think they're going to call Isaac Allnut. No, check that. I thought they were going to call Allnut with the 3 seconds, but called a foul on Aaron Teklu.
The Bull will bring the ball and look for somebody to get the ball to. Finally does get the ball into Britt. This pass intended for Singe is stolen away. No contact down there on the baseline. No call. All right, there you go, Rick. No harm, no foul. Shot put up by, and I believe this name, I want to get it correctly, is Faseha.
Yeah, Faseha.
Faseha shot doesn't go. Singe in the corner. Three-pointer doesn't go. I think that's going to be off of Miles Nelson. That should be Seattle Academy ball again. Rick, you know we don't wear striped shirts, but we can guess.
Yep. That was the right call, Tony. You were there. And Casey, the longtime high school referee here, one of the best in the state, and made that call.
Allnut with the inbounds gives it to Singh. DeBruhl pulls up from three, doesn't go off the back of the rim. And he knew it. He said that's off.
Yep. And Owen Gillick got the rebound there, but then the ball hit off of his hands, so Seattle Academy will get possession.
Cookson inbounds the ball. Back to Singh on top. Down low to Cookson. He can move and groove down there. Nice inside pass from from Cookson to Allnut for a layup. And Cookson doing his thing down low. Nelson with the ball in the front court with the left hand into the key. Teklu with it now on top, defended by Singh outside the three-point line on the right side. Drive on the left side and a little flip shot. Scoop shot is up and in, and the layup by Owen Gillick.
Owen Gillick getting double duty, Tony. He played in the JV game as well, and so getting a double duty, and he had 11 points in the JV game.
Cookson's pass is stolen by Cameron DeVore. Drives on the right side, doesn't make the layup. Ball rolls off. DeBruhl has it, still 32-15, and a wide open Isaac all night.
Oh, the no-look pass, Tony, from Leo DeBruhl.
Nice speed there. That'll make it 34-15. 19-point lead now with 2:27 to go for Seattle Academy. Teklu picked up the dribble, put a little pressure on him. He'll have to do something with it. Looks for Nelson down low. That pass is knocked away. 13 seconds on the shot clock. And a couple substitutions in for both teams. Into the game now for Seattle Academy. That's Finn McSherry back in. And
yeah, along with Jesse Dorn checks in for the first time.
And just to the game, Michael Long back into the game for Northwestern. Teklu on top, gets it down low. Reverse layup doesn't go. And quickly DeBruhl has to ram it with the right hand.
It just couldn't get it down.
DeBruhl attacking the hoop. Seth Horn attacks the hoop, kicks it back out, and the shot is up and good from Cameron DeVore. 34-18 now.
Three-pointer by DeVore. That was a good play by Horn. Had what I thought was maybe a lane to the free lane to the basket, passed it out.
And Sins drives on the left side, holds it in the left hand like the old Statue of Liberty play, and then lets it go, falls off the rim, but he'll go to the line for two. 34-18 with 1:35 left here in the half. It's me, Tony B, joined by Mr. Rick Dupree, Daniel Bellis with us, and TC. Crew here for Rainier Avenue Radio, South Seattle's
Taylor Kareem sporting the SC mask. So look at, yes indeed, and run the show on the camera.
And we've been happy to have her this year. She's just been invaluable. But we'll be on the campus of University of Southern California next year.
You're gonna miss your baby, huh?
Yeah. Finch makes the second free throw as well as the first one, 36-18. Now that lead back up by 18. Seth Horn brings the ball in the front court, gives it to Teklu out by the half-court line on the right side, defended by Singh. Northwestern ball in the corner now. Finally back to Teklu on top. Doesn't take the three. Three put up there by Cameron DeVore. It doesn't go. Rebounded by Cooks, and he'll bring it up himself. Finds Doran in the corner. Down low. That's Finn McSherry, and we've got another foul called. So Cookson will take the ball out. Now Cookson's going to go to the bench, and into the game is Logan Britt. Back in the game. Britt, a nice-looking player. Carson DeBruhl for three. Right side, corner pocket. Carson DeBruhl nails the three-pointer. 39-18 now. Back up by 21. 48 seconds left in the half. And pressure applied in the backcourt. Teklu with the ball now in the front court, goes behind his back, again defended by Singh. 19 seconds on the shot clock, about 15 less than on the game clock, and the pass intended for Seth Horn is going to go out of bounds off of his hands.
Yeah, Teklu with kind of a no-look pass there, and I don't think Seth Horn was ready for that, Tony.
So 31.4 seconds on the game clock, 30 seconds on the shot clock. Singh with the ball in the front court. And three players, Singh, McSherry, and Carson DeBruhl out front near the half-court line, as they're just going to take all the time off this clock as long as Northwestern doesn't come out and press. 9 seconds on the shot clock now. Carson DeBruhl with it. Logan Britt from the left side. Three-pointer is good. And then two buzzers go off. The shot clock buzzer immediately followed by the game buzzer. And 42-18 now at the half, as that lead is extended to 24 points for Seattle Academy. Undefeated Emerald City League team Seattle Academy is going to go into the locker room now as they walk by us, Mr. Dupree. And a nice little finish there if you're a Seattle Academy fan. You have to like what you saw. If you're a Northwest House fan, Maybe not the way you wanted it to go to end the half after they hit a couple shots, but this is where we're at, and we're going to take it to Mr. DeBruhl. Unless you've got something to say, I'm going to go to Mr. Bellis here.
We'll go to Daniel.
All right. Well, in the final seconds of the boys' basketball game between Eastside Catholic and Nathan Hale, with about looks like I'm seeing 12 seconds left. It looks like Eastside Catholic well on hand to win this one, with a score right now of 56-43. Eastside Catholic leading Nathan Hale. That's about 13-point leads with only 10 seconds left. It looks like Eastside Catholic is going to wrap this one up, which means they will travel to O'Day on Tuesday in the semifinal matchup for the boys. The other matchup for the boys also is wrapped up. It'll be Ingram at Seattle Prep. So Eastside will be the 1 and the 2, and the 1 and the 2 both will be playing on Tuesday. There are so far, especially on the boys' side of the equation, there has been no upsets. It'll be Ingram at Seattle Prep, and we're calling this one now Eastside Catholic at O'Day. Yeah, the game literally just ended. Eastside Catholic has won the game. Eastside Catholic at O'Day. On the girls' side of the equation, a huge upset in the works. That strange score that we reported has been confirmed by Bishop Blanchette. And this means that even though Franklin was up at the half by 9, 35-26, the number 1 seed was outscored by Bishop Blanchette in the third quarter by a total of, 54 minus 26 is 20-something to 3 in the third quarter. That's amazing. That is crazy for a number 1 seed to get outscored 20-6 in the third quarter after being up by 9 at the half. So that's the latest report we have from the girls' game there for Bishop Blanchette leading Franklin going into the fourth quarter 54-38, which would be a huge upset. That's a number 4 seed. The winner of that contest will play Garfield, and if Bishop Blanchette holds on, Garfield will host as the number 2 seed on Tuesday, Bishop Blanchette. If Franklin finds a way to win this one, Franklin will host Garfield on Tuesday. And on the other side of the equation for the girls, another upset happened yesterday with Holy Names winning that one against their player. They were playing against, just trying to remember off the top of my head here, someone from the north. It wasn't Nathan Hale. No, it was, all right. Anyway, it was not Ingram. Trying to remember off the top of my brain, but we were following that one, and Holy Names was trailing the entire game. But in the final minutes of the game, Holy Names took their first lead and held on to win that contest. And that is why they are going to be facing on Tuesday at there it is. Seattle Prep. They'll be at Seattle Prep on Tuesday. Number 1 Seattle Prep. So upset there. And then for the girls, of course, as well. Well, you're finding it right there. Garfield will be playing the winner of Bishop Blanchette Franklin. So the final 4 for Metro League boys is final, and it'll be Eastside Catholic at O'Day and Ingram at Seattle Prep. That's final. That's for good. For the girls, it will be Holy Names at Seattle Prep. And then we'll wait the winner of this Bishop Blanchette at Franklin game, because the winner will play Garfield on Tuesday. We will broadcast at least one of these games on Tuesday. We'll let you know when the times of the games are announced. But we'll cover at least one of these games, possibly two, a girls and a boys, or just a boys. We'll let you know, of course. Just stay tuned to Rainer Avenue Radio. You can, of course, follow us on our Twitter account at Rainier Ave Radio, or Instagram, Rainier Avenue Radio.world, or our Facebook, Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Go all three of those places right there to get those scores and updates. And you can also follow along to when your teams are scoring and all that through the official source of the Metro League, which is at metroleaguewa.org. Here we are at the half with Seattle Academy well in hand as an undefeated team, leading Northwest School 42-18 with about less than 4 minutes left before we resume action. The Seattle Academy boys are coming back onto the court right now from the locker room, as Northwest School are sitting over there in the corner. They apparently do not get to go to the locker room for this contest, or I guess the guest team just has to chill there in the corner, and the boys get to, the home team gets those kind of perks. I guess the home team kind of means something, if you will. But there will be some baseball on Monday, and Blanchette will be at Chief Self at 3:30 p.m. Roosevelt at Ballard at 3:30. West Seattle at Franklin at 3:30. And then a couple of 4 p.m. games with O'Day at Lakeside, Ingram at Nathan Hale, and Lincoln at Garfield. Now, we definitely do follow the Metro League closely, but unfortunately, we have not been given any of what they're doing for their playoffs other than basketball. So we're not sure what they're doing for their playoffs for baseball. These do not look like playoff matchup. So must be the last game of the season. However, these games were just announced, so it kind of tells you that it might be playoffs. All we can do here on Rainier Avenue Radio is theorize as we continue to try to get in touch with the Metro League to tell us what they are doing. Same thing with softball. There will be some games on Monday in the Metro with Seattle Prep at Ballard at 4 p.m. on Monday. Lincoln will be at Nathan Hale at 4. A to-be-determined game will be at Ingram at 4. And at 5 p.m. on Monday, Bishop Blanchette will be at Roosevelt. For softball in the Metro League this year, that is a big one because Roosevelt and Bishop Blanchette are the two leaders in Metro softball this year. Roosevelt at 9-1, Bishop Blanchette 6-2. Again, we haven't been told that this is a playoff game, so we are just unsure about that. The rest of the matchups do not look like playoff games, so we're not sure. If you're a track fan in the Metro, there will be preliminaries being held on Wednesday at Chief Self at 2:45. And the finals for track this year, boys and girls, will be on the 11th at Chief Self at 2:45 p.m. Let's see if we can get one more update here before we get to the second half of your game here at Seattle Academy. And yes, we do have an update here. The varsity Bishop Blanchette girls defeat Franklin in the first round of the Metro playoffs, 73-61. So there it is. The Blanchettes actually pulls the upset over Franklin there. And they will travel to Garfield on Tuesday. We're ready for our second half here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Rick Dupree has his mic on, and the players are on the court, and you know what that means.
Yep. And have a chance as we go into the third quarter. Seattle Academy leading 42-18. and had a chance to talk to Leo DeBruhl's dad, Joel DeBruhl, who is the girls' head basketball coach here at the Seattle Academy. And Leo DeBruhl next year will be going to Montverde Academy in Orlando, and a number of NBA players have gone there. And we'll talk more about that. But with the COVID season, just really made recruitment really, really difficult. So as we start the third quarter here, turnover. Seattle Academy gets it. Taza Singh down to Leo DeBruhl. DeBruhl, little dump off to Joe Cookson, I believe. And Cookson starts off the scoring. Cookson had 8 in the first half. And starts off the scoring to give the Seattle Academy a 44-18 lead. And the drive inside. And the guy who had most of the scoring for Northwestern in the first half, Miles Nelson, he had 11 of he had 11 of the 18 points for Northwestern in the first half. He'll go to the line for 2 shots. And the first free throw up, hits the back iron, no good. So he'll have one more. And the second shot is up and in for Miles Nelson. And the basket there, and I missed, Daniel, who that basket was by there. Seattle Academy gets another bucket. Forgive me, I was looking down at my notes here. So Northwest with the ball once again, trailing 46-19. Trying to find an opening in the Seattle Academy defense. And there's that guy one more time. Miles Nelson won't go. Leo DeBruhl with the rebound. Brings it down between the legs, looking, spins. Got an open lane, nobody there to stop him, and Leo DeBruhl takes it all the way to the rack and lays it in for the bucket, giving the Cardinals a 48-19 lead. 6:45 left to play here. Ball scramble on the floor, and should be a jump call. The referees didn't call it. And then the timeout call by Northwest. So the House will retain possession. 6:40 left to play here in the third quarter. Seattle Academy leading Northwest by a score of 48-19. So in the first half, Seattle Academy very balanced scoring. Joe Cookson, Leo DeBruhl both had 8 points. Taser Singh and Logan Britt 7. And then Carson DeBruhl hit 2 threes. And along with Isaac Allnut had 6 points. So very balanced scoring for Seattle Academy for their 42 points in that first half. Northwest very lopsided scoring. Miles Nelson had 11 of the 18. And then he was joined by Cameron DeVore, who hit a 3. Simon Honig, who had a bucket, and Owen Gillick, who had a bucket. So we are just early here in quarter number 3. Seattle Academy leading 48-19. Trying to extend that to a 30-point lead. And as you know, in Washington State Activities Association and athletics, 40-point lead will activate the mercy rule. So if Seattle Academy were to go up, then they would go to a running clock. Anyway, Taser Singh with the steal. And across the timeline. Looking, driving. Oh, a nice dish off to Joe Cookson. Cookson can't get the bucket. He was defended there by Miles Nelson. And so Northwest with the ball. And again, trying to get across the half-court line. Finally, they do. And the jumper, that was Simon Honig, won't go. And a scramble for the loose ball. And I think they're going to say it's going to stay down here on this end, Northwest. The House retains possession. And so Northwest will take it out. New 30 on the shot clock. Inbound to Cameron DeVore. DeVore loses it, and still Leo DeBruhl comes up with it. Across the timeline, DeBruhl. Dish off to Logan Britt. An easy basket there. Turnover and fast break, and that's how Seattle Academy, that's how they get you. On the other end, looking for the shot, Kyle Finney. Back out to Nelson. Nelson with the three-pointer. I tell you what, Miles Nelson is the guy keeping Northwest on the board.
He's doing more than keeping them on the board. He's been pretty much a force out there for the
he's
team.
got 15 of their 22 points. Turnover on the other end by Seattle Academy, so Northwest will take it over.
Good to see
Trailing
him get
50.
a chance. So we were talking about this at halftime that for some of these players, they're not getting the looks that they were getting from some of the colleges where even if it's D2,
Yeah,
to get the opportunity to further their education and show off their basketball skills. And
That's exactly it. And for Leo DeBruhl, who clearly, again, the league MVP, reigning league MVP, and a kid who maybe not at the level of a Paul Ben Carroll, and so
not many people are at
yeah, very, very good point. But again, those top tier guys, whether it's Nolan Hickman, Shane Noel, those guys, schools had made up their minds and knew Leo DeBruhl, because he's at a smaller school. I really think if Leo was at a Garfield or at Eastside Catholic or what have you, would have gotten looks and would have a scholarship in hand. So talking to his dad again, he's going to go to Montverde Academy in Orlando next year, and a prep school that has housed many D1 and NBA players, and so he will be there, and hopefully that will certainly help. Teja Singh on the other end, driving, and shot is blocked, goes out of bounds. So with 4:59 left to go here in the third quarter, Seattle Academy leading Northwest by a score of 50-22. Check that. Seattle Academy, they said the Cardinal retained possession. Singh with the ball, drives in the paint, stops, jumper, money. Teja Singh.
I like both Teja Singh and Logan Britt. Too bad we didn't get to see much more of them this year as well.
Yeah. And Teja Singh, a senior, Britt Jr. will be coming back. Teja Singh, I remember last year we did Basketball Mania here, Tony, in December, and it was the first time. I've known Teja since he started going to school here, and he got a break and off the dribble picked the ball up. He's a lefty and slammed it down. I said, oh my goodness, Teja playing above the rim now, and always been a great three-point shooter. Isaac Allnut, little floater in the paint, won't go. Rebound comes down to Marcel Paseja and over to Miles Nelson. Nelson, a one-man wrecking crew for Northwest. It's a head down, and the jumper from the corner as Cameron DeVore won't go, and Leo DeBruhl skies for the rebound, and he's going to bring it down himself. No look pass to Joe Cookson on the left side, and Cookson takes it in for the lay-in and the bucket. 54-22, Seattle Academy with a commanding 32-point lead. I had to do my math there real quickly, Tony, in the head. Joe Cookson near steal, but coming down with it is Simon Honig, and then Cookson with the steal, and DeBruhl by himself, and he's going to put it down. Leo DeBruhl with the slam. Making up for the miss in the first half.
We were just talking about that as well.
Yeah. And on the other end, I believe that was Nelson again. Miles Nelson with the bucket for Northwest. Making the score 24, forgive me. A 32-point lead. Joe Cookson, the long jumper, won't go. And he can hit that three-pointer. And on the floor, and I think, let's see, I don't think there's a call, Tony. I think that just, we'll see some substitutions coming in for Seattle Academy. Josh Davidoff checking in along with Finn McSherry. And Teja Singh almost getting the steal. He's going to be called for the foul. So Singh anticipating the inbounds from the sideline and had a fight for the ball, and they said he fouled him. So that is going to be, looks like only his first foul, but he is replaced on Coach Burrell. And so replacing him is the younger brother of Leo DeBruhl, Carson DeBruhl. So we got the DeBruhl brothers on the court here at the, no, check that. Leo has checked out. So Carson in. And guarding the ball right now is Carson DeBruhl. Sehe looking for something. Dishes over to Gillick. Gillick to Honig. And Honig, the jumper, powers it up, won't go, but he's fouled on the play. So Simon Honig will go to the line for 2 shots.
And Simon Honig has been giving Miles a little help here. Again, Rick, I'm just excited to see everybody get a chance to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Honig's first free throw, the lefty won't go. And checking back into the ball game for Northwest after a very, very brief rest is the workhorse Miles Nelson. Honig, his second free throw up, and it is no good as well. And so going way up for the rebound was Finn McSherry, and I believe he was fouled on the rebound. Yeah, they're going to call a foul there. So Seattle Academy, that's only looks like the first team foul on the visiting Northwest house. So 4 on Seattle Academy. Also in Hunter Ackley for the Seattle Academy Cardinals. Josh Davidoff driving out to Joe Cookson. Cookson drives it from the right to the left, lays it in. Oh, rolls around the rim and falls out. So great move by Cookson, just not able to finish it. And he hand on the hip, kind of shakes his head, disappointed that didn't fall for him. But Seattle Academy, a new 30. Cookson with it on top. Over to Ackerley. Ackerley, the long jumper, 3 points. Coming into the game, and Hunter Ackerley with the bucket. That gives the Cardinals a 59-24 lead here with 1:56 left to go in the third quarter. And Joe Cookson with the steal. Can't throw those cross-court passes. And Cookson the steal, and then he's going to be fouled going to the bucket. So Seattle Academy may very well, they've got an opportunity to go up here in the moment, not with 2 free throws, but they're very close to that 40-point lead, leading right now by 35, 59-24. So Joe Cookson going to the line. He'll have 2 free throws. First one is up and rolls around and is good. And checking in, I believe for the first time for waiting to check in, Michael Luong for Northwest. Cookson, second free throw is up and good. So with a minute 47 left to go in the third quarter, Seattle Academy a commanding 61-24 lead here over Northwest. The house looking for something. Miles Nelson, who has been the scorer for them. Carson DeBruhl with the rebound off the miss. Ackerley looking down for Davidoff, and the ball is knocked out of bounds. But Seattle Academy will keep possession of it, leading 61-24. Davidoff taking it out. Finds Ackerley, Hunter Ackerley, the freshman. Over to Josh Davidoff. Davidoff move, and scoop is underneath, won't go, falls to the ground, no foul called. And coming down with the rebound is Miles Nelson for Northwest. Nelson over to Honig. Honig the jumper, and it's good. 3-pointer, Simon Honig.
I like that. I like the way Simon Honig has stepped up to try and help Nelson out.
And Northwest say, hey, we're not going to have this mercy rule so quickly. And you got Ackerley with the long 3-pointer, won't go, but rebound to McSherry. McSherry over to Davidoff to all-nut McSherry, rather Davidoff, I should say, with the jumper, won't go. Fight for the rebound, and comes into the hands of Cameron DeVore for Northwest. Nelson driving the paint, dishes it out. 3-pointer is good. That is Michael Luong. So Michael Luong checks in and knocks down the 3-pointer to pull the Northwest house to within 31 points, 61-30. The league-leading 6-0 undefeated Seattle Academy Cardinals with the commanding lead here. Ackerley with the drive, loses control of the ball. Picked up by Michael Luong. Luong challenging Davidoff off the window, won't go. Rebound comes down to Ackerley, and with 7-6 seconds, Seattle Academy has some time. Over to Carson DeBruhl. DeBruhl, the 3-pointer! A little long, no good. So after 3 frames, Seattle Academy leading Northwest by a score of 61-30. And Daniel, I don't know if there are any further updates with some things going on. As you said, we covering the Metro League and some updates there and what our fans may have next week.
Yeah, on Tuesday, all the matchups are set. So for the boys, it's Ingram at Seattle Prep. It's Eastside Catholic at O'Day. All the ones and the twos all move in the boys. For the girls, a couple of upsets made it interesting for Tuesday, with Holy Names traveling to Seattle Prep, and Bishop Blanchette will be traveling to Garfield. Bishop Blanchette outscored number 1 seed Franklin in the third quarter, and we brought out the calculator for this one, 28-3. Franklin was up at the half by 9, and they just blew it in the third quarter, 28-3 to lose to Bishop Blanchette in that one right there. 73-61 is the final there. The final for Eastside Catholic and Nathan Hale, Eastside Catholic 58-47. So there it is, boys. Ingram at Seattle Prep, Eastside Catholic at O'Day. Girls, Holy Names at Seattle Prep, Bishop Blanchette at Garfield. All going down this Tuesday. All times to be determined by the league should be released tonight. Make sure you go to metroleaguewa.org, and tonight you'll probably see those times then.
All right, here we go. The final quarter of action here. Seattle Academy and Northwestern. Ackley with the ball. Tries to get a pass over to Carson DeBruhl. And if you are tuning in and seeing Seattle Academy basketball for the first time, there's some players you probably won't see. Like Joe Cookson, he might be done for the night. Carson DeBruhl now drives on the left side. Back on top of Davidoff. Hunter Ackley drives on the left side, puts it up with the left hand, goes over the rim. And that buzzer that you heard was the shot clock buzzer. But Nelson with the rebound for Northwestern, probes in the lane, stops, finds Luong open for 3, bounces off the front of the rim and doesn't go. Actually, yes, that was Michael Luong. And we come down the other way. Ball almost out of bounds as DeBruhl found himself on the baseline and nowhere really to go there. But Seattle Academy will retain possession. Carson DeBruhl looking to get the ball inbounded. Jesse Duran can't quite get there. And so that'll turn it back over to the Northwest house.
Yeah, Jesse Dorn was looking for the pass there and just not able to get it, and looking at his team like, hey, I wasn't expecting it. So turnover there, Tony.
Honig into front court, gets to Miles Nelson. Nelson stops. Tries to drop a pass down low to Pasea. That doesn't work. Quickly up the front court. Ackerley under the hoop. Shot put up and doesn't go by Jesse Doran. Down the other way, Long puts one up off the glass with the right hand and in. Count it, 61-32. 6:31 left here to go in the game. Ackley in the front court. DeBruhl with the ball now. Davidoff picks up the dribble. Passing intended is an errant pass, and the ball is on the floor. Players going after the ball. Players on the floor. Ball still on the floor. We're at half court now, and
looks like they're going to say that Seattle Academy had possession. Josh Davidoff and Coach Sean Burrow called timeout there, Tony. So smart play from the sideline to get possession of it.
A little up and down action here, and some players getting some time on the court.
Yeah, exactly. And you like that, Seattle Academy is a veteran team and senior led. You've got 4 seniors that start. And so they're gonna by graduation, this team is gonna be gutted. Do you have some young players? Logan Britt, Carson DeBruhl, Finn McSherry in particular, Hunter Ackley, a freshman. So there are some players coming back, and talking to Coach Zach Townsend, you see, Rick, we got some other good young players on JV that'll be coming up. So I think a promising future, but again, you're losing guys like Leo DeBruhl, Tasia Singh, Isaac Allnut, Joe Cookson, and those 4 in particular. Just
Eddie Hewlett. I haven't seen him this year.
Yeah. Eddie Hewlett
well.
Again on the sideline in street clothes, not playing tonight. But Eddie Hewlett really came into his own last year, and especially late in the season, Tony.
Yeah.
And standing at about 6'7", 6'8". And again, you've got some size on this team. It's just too bad. Hey, they're making the most of it here in league play.
And we'll be back again at the very least on the 17th. We might bring you another game in between the 17th as well. And get another chance to see this Seattle Academy squad, Rick. And we were excited last year about the potential this year of this team. And, well, we know what COVID did. Ball inbounded Duran with it. Duran gets it over to McSherry. Out on the corner to DeBruhl. And back in the game, just as I was talking about it, was Logan Britt. So you can get a look at the junior. Buries the three ball, 64-32 now. Back up the other way, Simon Honig in the front court, defended by McSherry. Errant pass, diving for the ball and not quite over and back, apparently. It was for Seha.
They call timeout. So, again, the bench saving the possession there, Tony.
So we'll get another timeout here as the ball was on the floor again. Players scrambling, trying to, you know what, never mind the score. We're going to keep playing hard.
That's right, yeah. And that's great to see. These young players, again, really, really excited to be out to play the games that they love. And we have seen that, this is the third year, Tony, we've done Metro and prep sports in general. And we have just seen great effort, great sportsmanship every time that we do a broadcast, which has really impressed. I know Edwin and I during football season talked about that. You and I have talked about it, and something that we just really, really appreciate.
You know, and I will take an opportunity, Mr. Dupree, to give Rainier Avenue Radio a pat on the back, making sure that we bring these games, especially during a year when friends, family can't get into the stadiums, the gymnasium to see the game.
Yeah.
It's been more important that we make sure that the communities have an opportunity to see their sons, daughters, play. And again, for some of them, this is it. This is their senior year. Basketball wasn't played in the fall, and they made it happen in the spring.
Yep, absolutely.
So Northwest inbounds the ball. Honig with it. 5:17 here to go in the game. Honig defended by Carson. Carson taps at the ball. Luong now at the top. Down low to Nelson. Nelson's shot doesn't go. Again, the shot clock goes off. They ignored it, as they should have. And a long three-point shot from Jesse Duran. Count it!
Yeah, Jesse Dorn stepping up. And Jesse Dorn is the third of the Dorn brothers to play here at Seattle Academy.
Luong with the ball. Again, Seattle Academy consistently tight on defense no matter who's in the game. Luong pulls up for three. That one rolls in, out, bounces on the rim, and rebound is picked up by McSherry. McSherry with the ball to Logan Britt. Britt out on top. Drops it down low to McSherry. He deals, puts it up off the glass with the right hand, rolls off, but Finn McSherry will go to the line and he'll get a couple of shots. Nobody in any real foul trouble here, but 4:19 left in the game, and again, a 67-32 lead, and that's where it'll stay as McSherry's first free throw bounces off the right side of the rim. Sherry gets the ball and bounces it a couple times, sets, aims, fires, and that one's all true. 68-32 now. Honig with the ball. McSherry picks him up at half court. Luong with the three-pointer, again in and out. McSherry, been saying that name a lot, with another rebound to Logan Britt. Three-point shot put up by Carson DeBruhl. All true. 71-32 now, and again, Rick, we're approaching that 40-point.
Yeah, Logan Britt passed up a lane and saw his teammate out there and hit him for the three, Tony.
Honig tries to get the ball in the paint, and McSherry sticks a foot out there. No, not today. You can take it out on the sideline.
And Carson DeBruhl with 9 points. All three of his points, 3 3-pointers.
So if I say he looks for somebody to get it into, does get it into Nelson. Nelson with the ball on the left elbow, drives to the right side. Ball is knocked away, and it looked like it may have went off of Nelson, but they're going to say no.
Casey, the referee saying the ball laying there. Hey, will someone pick it up and hand it to me? Casey, like, I ain't going to get it.
Say who's trying to bring the ball in, looking for somebody, finally gets it to the top of the key to Nelson. Nelson defended by Carson DeBruhl. Long with the ball, and we're going to get a push there on DeBruhl. And again, nobody seriously in foul trouble, so unless they're putting the ball up, we'll be taking this out on the side. And we saw this happen last night with Beach not in foul trouble, committed 3 fouls that essentially they didn't have to.
Yeah, really quickly, and yeah.
Sehu inbounds the ball to Honig, to Miles Nelson. Nelson pulls up from the free throw line, doesn't go. Ball is rebounded by Davidov. And we've got a call here. Mr. Dupree, I didn't see
I think, the referee call. So Taja's saying that there's, maybe it's mask. I think his mask strap broke. And so players have to wear the mask. And so the referee called that timeout. So he'll be replaced.
Davidov inbounds the ball in backcourt to Ackley. Ackley gets the ball. Ackett for handing it off on the right side. Turns, spins, little fall away 12-footer, hits the front of the rim and bounces over to the other side. Nelson loses the ball quickly the other way. Seattle Academy back, and McSherry is.
They called him for the travel. There was some contact there. McSherry lost control of the ball. They called him on the travel, Tony. So Northwest ball.
71-32, 3:05 left here in the game. Seattle Academy, undefeated Seattle Academy, on their way to their 7th straight victory. You know what the playoff situation is for the Emerald City League, Mr. Dupree?
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
Do you know what the playoff situation is?
I think it will be. Yeah, I believe that it will be very similar to what we've seen in the Metro League. Is the top teams, they will play kind of a round robin, and the steal by Josh Davidoff.
And Josh Davidoff gets the steal, takes it up with the left hand from the left side, lays it off the glass and up and in to make it 73-32, and now the infamous mercy rule may be in the play. We'll see.
It is. You saw the referees saying to the scorer's table, keep the clock running.
And Miles Nelson with the right hand puts it up and off the glass and in.
So even though, Tony, that bucket gets it below 40, the fact that they did hit that 40-point lead, it will be running clock of the last 2 minutes here.
73-34. Davidoff drives on the right side, puts it up off the glass, and the bank is open on a Saturday, hangs on the rim and says, yeah, I'll open up for you, and drops through the net for Davidoff.
And that was a banker, and it was good money.
And Nelson drives in, bulls his way in. Carson DeBruhl gets the offensive foul, and as a reward, the ball bounces off his head.
Yeah. But you saw his teammates on the sideline. That is one of the big things that Sean Burrell talks about with this team is get in the lane, block that drive, and so they celebrate when they're able to draw a charge.
And so they're going to go ahead and wipe the floor up here. And for that, the game clock will pause.
It shall.
75-34, a 41-point lead for Seattle Academy's Cardinals. 1:39 left in the game. And again, Northwest School, nice effort. But we're talking about a really talented Seattle Academy team here that, again, as you had mentioned, if we were able to play, there was a good possibility they would have been fighting for a spot in that 1A state championship.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No doubt.
And we'll get to take a look at Kings in a couple weeks, which is the team that eliminated them from the state championship in the semifinals last year. Into the front court, it's Ackley with 1:33. Davidoff with the ball, drives in, pulls up for a little runner, and it hits the front of the rim. Shooter's touch, hits the back of the rim and drops in. 77-34 now, a little runner. Davidoff back in the front court is Honig. Defended by Ackley, falls down. Nelson with the ball. And Nelson makes a move inside. Shot doesn't go. Ackley with the rebound. Davidoff with a nice lead there and a nice pass to McSherry. full court pass from Ackley to Davy Dobb. Davy Dobb dropped it off.
That was actually Jesse Dorn that
Jesse
got it in a
Dorn.
nice little. He spun and just dropped it off for the bucket. Yeah, yeah.
Over there on the left side, Honig drives to the hoop with 44 seconds left. And apparently, the basketball gods have said, stop the clock, let these guys play a little bit. 44 seconds left. $79-34. Yeah, thank you, Rick. I couldn't see that. I want to make sure that Jesse Dorn gets credit for that nice little pass. It resulted in the layup. 79-35 now. 40 seconds left here in the game. About a 14, 15-second difference in the shot clock. Davy Dobb with the ball. A little right-handed flip shot that doesn't go. Rebounded inside by McSherry. Kicks it back out. And that just might do it, Rick. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Ball in the hands of Ackerley, and Honig bends down. So I'm a little tired. I've been working hard.
Yeah.
And the clock ticks down to 0. Your final score here at Seattle Academy Cardinals 79, the Northwest House 35.
And I'll tell you, Tony, Miles Nelson, 16 of those 35 points for Northwest. And he didn't have a lot of help on the scoreboard, at least. A little bit. Simon Honig had 7. Michael Long, 5. Those unofficial numbers based on scoring that I've been keeping. For Seattle Academy, Leo DeBruhl finished with 12. Tasia Singh, 9. Joe Cookson, 14. Logan Britt, 12. Carson DeBruhl, 9 with those 3 threes. So really, really balanced scoring for the Cardinals.
And, you know, I'm going to recognize Aaron Teklu, who's hustling out there all game long for Northwest. And Michael Long as well hit a couple 3-pointers, you know, and then, again, no quit in the Northwest house.
Absolutely.
Well, Mr. Bellis, anything before we go?
Nope.
All right. Well,
that was simple. All right.
Mr. Dupree, any final words here from you before we exit?
Nice to be back in Sass's house, and impressive win for the Cardinals. So really good to see them.
All right. Well, you've been listening to Rainier Avenue Radio, our broadcast of Seattle Academy basketball. We'll be back with more Seattle Academy basketball on the 17th of June. It'll be senior night. And Cedar Park is, I believe, who they'll be tipping off against. We'll be excited about that game. But don't forget, is it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
Metro League.
O'Day and Eastside Catholic.
So we'll be at O'Day High School. We'll bring
O'Day.
that to you. Bring that one game to you. Yeah.
All right. Great job, Mr. Bellis. Great job, Taylor Kareem. That's it. That's all the time we have. It's me, Tony B. So remember, whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you are probably right.